Alright, season finale. I think that went probably about as well as it was going to. I mean, look, it was Love Live. I wasn't expecting anything groundbreaking. I do like how they handled the season finale. I like how it leads into season 2. And as always, I'm going to start at the top of my list. Kanon taking idols very seriously is really nice and refreshing to see. It was good that she was trying to push everyone because the performance was coming up and she knew how much effort they had to put in. I did worry that maybe she was going to burn everyone out. I'm glad that didn't happen, but still something to keep in mind. I'm still surprised at how this still turned into a save the school plot. It really seems like they're comfortable writing save the school stories, and I honestly thought that they'd broken away from it this time, but we still fell into that rabbit hole. I'm glad that it wasn't a pivotal part of the story. Like, if you took that out, the story would still happen. It would still be the same, pretty much. Like, it wasn't a major source of conflict. It wasn't a major plot driver. So, you know, I think it didn't do any harm being there, but also it could have been removed just as easily. Goddamn, they got a lot of followers. That's a lot. And I think it's good that they're obviously getting a lot of feedback from people and seeing that the classmates had such a good role in this episode. I'm glad that they're getting actual screen time. I don't think we know their names, but at least they're in the story. They have some part to play. Building the stages themselves was a big task, and like I said that rap was pretty rough, but building a stage is so much more, and SunnyPa kind of explained that to us, saying like, oh yeah, the Love Life has really pushed the bar as to what idols are expected to be able to do. And I do like that progression. I've mentioned it before, but I like how we're seeing the Love Live as a competition grow, because in the beginning it was just the music and the performance, but now it's, can you do this particular thing? Can you do that particular thing? And it definitely seems like they're doing that in at least the context of the world to lower the amount of contestants that they have. Which is understandable. When a competition gets too big, you need to start thinking of more creative ways to get down to your finalists. It's very much the same with conventions. A lot of conventions will use a portfolio application process to decide which exhibitors get in and which ones don't. It's a chance for the convention to look at what everyone's bringing to the table and the kind of people that they want representing their event. So it makes a lot of sense, and I think it's really good. The way they've implemented all of that is very natural, and it gives us a vague timeline of Muse to Aqua to Lila. Kanon not talking to her family about like the idol stuff seems like a massive oversight on her part, and I like that they're getting screen time, but as if you wouldn't tell your family, like, oh yeah, my idol group's really popular, we've got like 50k followers, and we're gonna be performing in the Love Live prelims this weekend, just so you know. Like, as if you wouldn't want to share that and be not only proud of yourself, but allow your family to be proud of you. Like, I don't know. I tell my family the most minute things because I'm like, oh, this really cool thing happened. And they're like, yeah, I totally know what you're talking about, but good for you. And it's just nice. It's nice to share things with people. And as far as we know, Kanon doesn't have any close friends outside of Lila. So, I don't know, does she just, like, talk to the others? Because they already know what's going on. I don't know, like, I guess being, like, antisocial is a thing, but Kanon didn't really strike me as overly antisocial. I don't know. Kanon, talk to your family challenge, please. As mentioned, I'm so glad the classmates have some plot relevance. It's great to see them getting involved, and I hope we get their names. I hope they have more of a role to play in season 2, because I really like those characters. I think that they help to build the world without overdoing it. And keeping it to just 3, as previous seasons have done, is good. It's clean. The Cuckoo-Sumire interaction at the shrine was so cute. Cuckoo being, no, they are my rivals today, and Sumire giving her what I think was like a good luck charm. I'm not overly versed with that kind of stuff, but it was very sweet. I like that a lot. The scene where they were building up to going to the stage and it was snowing, I was like, oh man, this is some snow halation shit. Then when they had the candles and they were directing Leela on where to go, I was like, oh man, this is some real snow halation shit. And then we see the stage and the colours. Hello, this is the kind of callback that I've been looking for. It wasn't a direct reference to Muse, I don't think. It just so happened that the colours and the kind of setup were the same, but if it was a callback to Muse, thank you. I appreciate this so much. But the whole stage, the setup, the outfits, the song, just that whole performance was phenomenal. I do stand by that song was very typical of Love Live, like the kind of very boppy, upbeat tune of like, sort of a, not quite motivational, but just like a, oh, we're gonna aspire to reach our dreams kind of tune. And I'm fine with that. They're not usually my favourite songs, but I will listen to them actively, like they're good. The outfits were adorable, and the light sequences they used with like the kind of look like roads in the different colours. I can see concert audiences having some fun with that. Like the aqua rainbow and the Kanan rail, but we've got like, I don't even know what you'd call it, but I can absolutely see that being a pen light sequence at concerts. Of course, SunnyPa won, and we saw nothing. I'm so glad they showed up in the first place. The fact that they had any relevance in this episode was more than I could ask for, but I was asking for a performance, an insert song from them, anything. I'll take anything at this point. I gotta take their little cameo in this one because it's all we were given, but if season 2 does not give us a full SunnyPa song, I do not know what I will do. I simply cannot be held accountable for my actions. But I'm really glad that we got that scene with Kanan where they were like, oh, singing's not a competition to you? Babe, it will be. But it set up that ending scene so well. Like, this is the kind of show don't tell that I'm talking about, where they were like, just you wait and see, doll, because it's gonna get real. And Kanan felt it. She was like, they were right. And instead of explaining to the others that she'd spoken to Yuna and Mao, she just launched into her motivation spiel. That was good. That was fantastic. And we can assume off screen that she tells everyone, oh yeah, SunnyPa came to visit and they mentioned that this would probably happen. And it happened. So that's why we have to give it our absolute all next year. So that build up and that little scene with them actually made a world of difference in this episode. And I think that if there was anything that they were going to do in this episode, that had to have been it. That or an insert song, but, it kind of feels like they're avoiding it now by saying like, oh, you have to set up your own stage and we're going to be live streaming the performances. Like, okay, they're not on the same stage, that's fine, but they've been on the same stage twice. So why don't we have anything from them? Like, we've heard they have at least a song, right? They've got at least one. So I have to wonder when that's going to release, because the latest Leela album, I think, comes out in like 2 days. I've been waiting for Nonfiction to drop on Spotify. I am feral. I need to hear the full song so badly. But I haven't looked at the track list for the album that I saw was announced yesterday on YouTube. I actually tried really hard to avoid spoilers for this episode because, I'm not usually too fussed about Love Live spoilers because it's Love Live, I know what's going to happen. But for this one, I didn't really want to see what was going on. I did see the, rainbow light sequence from the final song that was on YouTube, but that's all I saw. And I was like, oh man, okay. I get an idea. They're going to do some cool rainbow shit. Fine. I'm fine with seeing that, but I had no idea what else to expect. I was just hoping that we'd get a SunnyPa anything, and we did get a little bit, but they've kind of played the same role in every single episode, except for, was it Passion Island? Episode, I want to say 4 or 5? I've lost track at this point. The one where they go and perform on the island. They just show up at the cafe and hang out and give one of the characters some life-changing advice, and then they go home and we don't see them perform. It's just wasted potential. We went a whole season without seeing what they can do, just being told, oh, they're so good, they're gonna win, they're phenomenal. Come on. You cannot keep teasing us like that. If we just get the song as part of another album, like it drops without a music video or without any kind of context, it's just thrown in with a bunch of other songs, I'm actually going to be genuinely angry because that is such a waste. Anyway, I'm not even done talking about the episode yet. So, I really liked the setup for season 2 with Kanon saying, no, everyone tried so hard, they put in so much work, and we couldn't give anything back to them. And look, I will say, the fact that they came second and were acting as if they'd come dead last was it was a very sore loser kind of moment. Like, I get they want to build up season 2 and that it's still going to be devastating, but they didn't have to act like they'd just been told they can never be idols again. Because obviously we're getting season 2, and I think season 2 is going to be a lot stronger because we have a lot of motivation carryover from season 1. They came second in the Love Live. So close to the Tokyo performance, and they just missed it. But now they have time to build up more of a following, practice new things, and get better because they know who they have to beat. And it's just SunnyPa. I feel like if they'd come 4th or 5th, then they'd be looking at every other idol group and thinking like, okay, what did they do that we didn't? But they just have to look at SunnyPa and go, alright, so what did these 2 do that us 5 cannot? And that will help them improve. It'll give them more of an advantage in the future. And of course, SunnyPa is also going to get better and improve, and I am going to go into my season 2 thoughts in a moment. I just saw one other note I've got, which was the outro was so cute with all of them holding their center outfits. Loved it. Okay, season 2. I don't know what years Yuna and Mao are. I kind of assumed that Yuna was a first year and Mao was third, just because they're the kind of characters that we've had in those year levels before. So I'm thinking maybe SunnyPa won't be in season 2, which I hope they are. But if Mao is a third year and they actually don't continue, it's like a Muse situation where they dissolve after one of their members graduates, then we'd obviously get introduced to a new set of rivals, which would be interesting but also heartbreaking. I don't think they're going to do that, but it was a thought that passed through my head. Anyway, here's what I am envisioning is going to happen in season 2. The school is saved plot, it's over, it's done. They fixed that in this season. Kanon's stage fright, also fixed, not a problem. What I think we're going to get is a more concentrated, boiled down version of the Love Live competition. So they're going to try twice as hard, they're going to put in so much more work, and they're going to really hone in on the themes for every single performance. So if it's anything like the setup for season 1's Love Live, there's going to be the first round of area specific competitions, the second round of preliminaries, and then the Tokyo show. And I think going by the themes for season 1, it's probably going to be something that complex in season 2. So the first round of like the provincial preliminaries, or whatever you're going to call it, has a music specific theme. So like a genre or a particular kind of singing. The second round will have some kind of setting, so they'll have to either build their stage again or maybe perform in a weird situation, which is where I think the figure skating will come in. And then the third, the Tokyo preliminaries, will have like an overarching theme that everyone needs to work in, but it's going to be like super specific. So I think for Lila, if we go with the whole like stars theme, it'll be like the Andromeda Galaxy or something, a specific thing that they have to somehow work into the songs, the costumes, the whatever. So what we will probably get is a more drawn out season with more micro conflicts. So let's say they announce the first round theme and it's swing. Like they have to use a swing tempo in their song. Alright, that's a pretty tricky thing to work with. Like swing tempo is very specific. So there's probably going to be some kind of conflict between Kanon and Chisato. So Kanon saying, I have to write the song like this because that's the tempo that we have to work with, and Chisato saying, but the choreography has to work to this kind of a tempo. So conflict A. Let's say the second round, they have to perform in a weird kind of setting. So Ren says, oh, well, why don't we do figure skating? Like, that's sort of my specialty, so I can teach you guys how. So we go through all of them, learning how to figure skate, and then learning how to perform while figure skating. The third round, the Tokyo finals. The overarching theme, let's stick with it, is the Andromeda Galaxy. So they're like, what do we even do with that? That's so specific. So I think that in that situation, Cuckoo would step up and say, hey, we can put it in the costumes, don't even worry. We'll just sing our usual songs with like star motifs, but the costumes will be the focus on this one. And that way we really get an overarching view of everyone's specialties. Unfortunately, I did have to throw Sumire out the window there, but I am sure there is some way that she can do something cool. Like, oh, here's something. Maybe they have to do advertisements. It could be that there's a new requirement to join the Love Live and it's having like X amount of followers on social media, and maybe Lila's a fair way from that. So Sumire is like, don't worry about it, I'll do some ads for us, and like does her acting and uses that to their advantage. There's so many ideas, there's so many ways that each character's specialty can be worked in, but I think overall, the main conflicts of Season 2 are going to be built around the Love Live and the fact that Kanon has developed some kind of competitiveness, and when I say some kind of, I mean she's just competitive now. Like, she 100% wants to win by any means. That's going to be interesting, because either they're going to stick to that, and Kanon's going to be a lot more determined, a lot more serious. Basically the Kanon that we saw at the beginning of this episode, but for like the whole season, which could either be very compelling or very annoying. It depends how they kind of handle that. I think also in Season 2 we'll get a little bit more information on Ren's dad, because he obviously played an important part in this episode, so maybe he'll continue to financially support her. Who knows? I hope that Kanon's family plays a more important role. Maybe we'll learn more about everybody else's family. It's hard to say, because from memory, which mine is not good, we don't really get backstory in Season 2. It's mainly just more idle activities, which is fine. That's what we're here for, right? The writers have the opportunity to do something very, very interesting and very new with Season 2 of Lila, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm not sure when it's coming out. I don't think the release date has been announced yet, but you can bet I will continue making these videos when that does happen, and hopefully by then I will not be recording them at 10 o'clock at night, but that's fine. On a completely separate note, I have been thinking a lot lately about how I would have written Season 1. I'm not going to say better, but differently is probably a good word here. I might release a video on that. I don't want to put too much work into it, but I did a recording earlier and realized that I had skipped a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about, so it's the kind of thing that I definitely have to script. And unfortunately, when I start scripting, things get very out of hand. So that's probably going to be a way in the future kind of thing, if it ever happens. So overall, I feel pretty okay with Season 1. I definitely have issues with it, but that's me being hypercritical of something that I love very dearly. Because I realized that looking back on all the videos that I've made, it probably sounds like I'm not the biggest Love Live fan, but you'd be wrong. You'd be absolutely wrong. Honestly, I did cry during this episode, and I usually do during the season finales, but in this episode, it was the scene of all of their classmates leading them to the new stage that got me. No doubt I will cry at the end of Season 2 as well. Oh, that's something else I wanted to talk about. So, something I covered in my Nijijisaki presentation, which I have now been formally asked to turn into a video, so keep an eye out for that. Something I covered was the fact that Nijijisaki has presented the possibility that it will never end. And it has done that by introducing new characters midway through the run, basically. So if we assume that every Love Live group has a limited amount of years that they run for, we can use Muse and kind of Aqua as examples. Nijijisaki has broken that rhythm. They've introduced the concept that they will add new characters, and I don't know if we're going to get any more beyond Shiruku, Ranzu, and Mia, but if we do, they could just keep going and the Nijijisaki will never end. So, using that as a baseline for my next theory, we may get 3 seasons of Lila, which is a very interesting thought. And my reasoning behind this is the girls are in their first year, and typically the anime finishes when the third years graduate, but we don't have third years. So the writers have the potential to draw this out for 2 more seasons. And when I say this, I mean Lila winning Love Live. So consider this. SunnyPa wins next season's Love Live as well. Lila is 3000% motivated to win in the next year, but Mao is graduating and can no longer perform with Yuna. Yuna decides that she doesn't want to perform alone, that's not her thing, so SunnyPa dissolves. Lila has no more competition. So maybe they get a little lax. Maybe a new set of rivals steps up in season 3. Who knows? Infinite possibilities if we get another season. The reason that I am so set on the 2-season formula is because that's what we've always had. Muse was 2 seasons and a movie. Aqua, 2 seasons and a movie. Nijisaki obviously has only done their first season, so there is potential, right? Because if they decide we're only doing 2 seasons of Lila, something has to happen at the end of season 2 that prevents them from performing again. It's a pretty scary thought. What could it be? What would possibly stop them? Who knows? Could be anything. It could also be that the quote-unquote season 3 is just the movie, but again, I'm just speculating because they've broken the formula and there's so much that they can do now that they have a little bit more time. And I mean time in the sense that the third years aren't going to graduate for another 2 in-story years because they'll all be third years. I'm once again rambling, but that's the point of these videos. I think I've said all I wanted to say about that though. To wrap up this video, I'm going to do something that I haven't done on this channel, and that is self-promotion. You do not have to stay for this, but if you are interested, I would appreciate it. Over the past couple of weeks, I've been streaming Love Live School Idol Festival on Twitch. I'm still working out a schedule that works, but this Sunday I might be streaming in the morning instead of after dinner, which is probably going to be a lot better for a lot of people. So if you're interested in seeing me be pretty good at School Idol Festival, I hope it gives me a second chance at that one. It doesn't! Oh, that sucks. Alright, next time I will play that a little smarter. Definitely check out my Twitch. It's twitch.tv/batwingtensei. I'm also sticking to what I said a couple episodes ago with the Sumire Center. I will be doing a month of idol commissions, but it's not going to be until next year. I will also be running a Love Live merchandise giveaway. I've got new stickers on the way, and when I say on the way, I mean I've drawn them. I have not ordered them, but they will also be here for next year. I'm aiming to do this idol-themed everything month in February of 2022. So that will coincide with a lot of things that are happening next year, which is very exciting. I only have a Kanon charm at the moment, but if you like Kanon and you'd like a charm, please. I have like 40 because I ordered them when I was very fresh to conventions and I didn't know what a good number was. So if you buy a Kanon, I will be forever grateful. Also, just in general, if you want to keep up to date with what I'm doing, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram. I'm kind of active on Facebook. I've also got a Tumblr, and obviously here on YouTube. I'm also on TikTok. I'm starting to get a little bit more active there. And finally, if you'd like to chat directly with me, I'm part of the Creature Collective Discord. So all of the links to those are in the description below, and I will see all of you for Season 2.